Now we begin with the fuel matters in the country, and economists have urged the government to enact the fuel prices stabilization fund into law through an act of parliament to improve Kenya's economy amid the global supply chain disruption. In an interview with Metropol TV, Soko analyst Steve Biko said that the ongoing government's subsidy program meant to cushion Kenyans from volatilities in the global market has no impact in lowering the surging cost of living.
With Kenya arguably perceived to be enjoying the cheapest fuel prices across the region, owing to the government subsidy program that is meant to cushion Kenyans from such fuel prices at the pump, economists say there is nothing much to smile about as the cost of production remains high.
So of course you'll see people comparing and saying our prices are better, so we should stop complaining. But what about the cost of living? It's a double-edged sword. I mean, if you're looking, we need to stop looking at the current price from a linear perspective and look at it from a 3D dimension, because high cost of fuel, both diesel and petrol, means high cost of production for energy, high cost of production for goods and services. Meaning, you're going to have, if you increase 10 shillings per litre and 9 shillings per diesel, that is times 10. So you're going to increase at least 100 shillings per product. So you'll see bread manufacturers, wheat, flour manufacturers increasing their products by at least 57%. Fare has been going up since COVID time. If I remember, we've been increasing fuel prices and fare has been going up. Even with the subsidy, nothing has gone back down.
In Kenya, the Russian-Ukrainian war created a humanitarian catastrophe following a sharp incline in the cost of living crisis driven by surging fuel and basic good prices such as food. The analyst, however, disagrees with this.
Russia-Ukraine has no impact on our Kenyan economy. I mean, that's the truth. Maybe unless you're talking about wheat product, then there I will understand, because we import a lot of wheat from there. And that will mean three key products will actually go up. Alcohol, I mean beer, wheat products like beer, bread, cakes and stuff. There we'll understand. But these things, prices have been going up. And you're going to tell me that Ukraine is the only market, Russia is the only market we have for wheat or for oil. We actually import more oil from Middle East than we do. So this is a government's play to direct our attention and anger. The way we kept saying COVID, imeharibu uchumi, COVID has done this. The Russian war on Ukraine, what it's done to our economy is make the dollar a bit more unstable. So the impact is on a Kenyan shilling. The value of the Kenyan shilling is actually going up. So it's more, the impact is more of a physical policy issue than any other macroeconomic aspect on the economy.
Apart from entrenching the fuel stabilization fund into law, the economic expert points out various measures needed to be undertaken by the government to stabilize the economy.
Everyone is here for business, not to be a charity to government. So the fund is good, but it's done poorly, implemented poorly. It's not thought out clearly to the end. Government needs to do 5 things. One is entrench the stabilization fund into law, have an act of parliament, and have a way of how it's going to be financed. Because you cannot keep taking already budgeted for funds to put there. So that is actually very important. To have public and parliament participation in the process, so that Kenyans can be able to understand that this fund is not only for fuel, but for other products too, for SMEs, for manufacturers. So the fund is actually adequately funded, and then we're able to see how people can be able to access those funds. And then 3, we need to reform the tax code. I mean, the business community is actually really having a rough time. So we need to have that conversation about reforming the tax code and reducing the levies on petroleum products. Then 4, the government needs to actually reduce on its expenditure, like completely focus on what is critical. And then 5, I think one of the key issues to stabilize the economy and have money is to clear all pending bills. This will actually be very important for the economy. In as much, even the dealers in the petroleum sector will actually feel like now we've been able to sort out the pending bills, now we can now look at the future and how best to move forward.
A week ago, Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma addressed fuel shortage concerns, even as the government blamed a group of oil marketing companies for hoarding fuel stocks and diverting them to export markets, further worsening the crisis. Kenya could be staring at yet another fuel shortage linked to fuel supply challenges brought about by insufficient local stocks in the market. Colin Sogutu, Metropol TV.
Colin Sogutu there with Steve Biko, Soko analyst, who is also a market and investment analyst at Soko.